Welcome to Art Bazaar, a podcast that chats with artists of all types to explore the depths of creativity, brought to you by the Alternative Gallery. We'll be releasing new episodes every Wednesday with bonus episodes dropping randomly. If you like what you're hearing, you can support this podcast by going to thealternativegallery.com and clicking on the podcast tab. I'm your host, Brandon Wonder, Creative Director of the Alternative Gallery, a nonprofit arts organization in Allentown, PA, run through the efforts of dedicated volunteers. And on this episode of Art Bazaar, we'll be chatting with Ray Gurz, a musician, author, and all-around creator from the Lehigh Valley. Ray is also the founder of Soul Skateboards, a PA-based skate brand. In addition to a line of skate merch, Soul releases skate decks, including collaborations with other brands. Recently, Ray released a new book titled Jacob Ridley Go Skateboarding, which is a third in his series aimed at teaching children to be themselves and to live life to the fullest. You can grab a copy of his new book at lostsoulskateboards.bigcartel.com, and generally just check out everything Ray has going on Instagram at Soul Skateboards. We'll be sure to talk about the new book as well as all the other projects Ray has his hands in. Ray, welcome to the Art Bazaar, buddy.
Brandon, thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to have this conversation and chance to chat about all these great things you have going on, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a minute since we ran into each other.
Yeah, it has. And I think the last couple times we've been able to have a conversation and be in the same room was trying to discuss getting Arts Fest back together.
Yes, crucial.
Which has been the monumental task with the rising cost associated with everything in life these days. But we'll eventually cross that finish line. And you got a lot of projects going on, it seems.
Yeah, all at once, always. I don't know. That's just how I roll. That's just how it's always been. Kind of like this creative chef. So I guess I was thinking about it on the way over here, how to describe it. So to me, it's just like you're cooking this huge meal for a bunch of your friends. And I have all these plates across the oven, and they're all hot, but once one starts to boil, I start to push it off to the side and then pull the other one forward. So I'm constantly shuffling.
I love that. I love the fact that you came up with a metaphor for all your creative endeavors by using yet another creative endeavor. It speaks volumes.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes a metaphor for me is just something like I can just get across to people that are like, oh, because I don't use big words. I hate it. I still use rad and like totally and I don't know, sick. Like, I don't know. Just the other day, one of my bosses was like, hey, how you doing today? And I'm like, I'm sick. And he just goes, oh, I'm sorry to hear. I'm like, no, that means I'm like really, like I'm having a good day. And they're like, oh.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
So with so much you have going on, because I know you're a musician, you're now an author, you're skating pretty much any chance you get, you work on the side as well. What does a normal week look like for you? Like, how do you divide your time? Do you have a schedule, or is it all random?
So I'm working at UPS Monday through Friday. Lately, it's been Monday through Saturday.
Because of the holiday season.
Because of the holiday season's around. So I'm just like, I'm putting money away because I have some like 2 really big trips coming up next year, and we can talk about that later. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so I just do that, and then I have a band practice day, which hasn't changed in forever, a million years. It's Thursdays. And then when I skate, I kind of fit it in, but it's also sometimes I just wait till Sunday till a lot of my friends have off. But then that's when I'm like, all right, cool. I got to make sure my friend Adam is around to shoot photos for that day. And then I'm like, all right, well, either Tyler or my friend Carl will film. So I'm just like, all right, well, I got to line one of those guys up. So I guess it's just about scheduling and then fitting in Michelle, my wife, like as much as I can. I don't really watch TV. I don't go to the bars. I don't like waste a lot of time. Because most of the time I'm just arting out too. Like I'm always doodling or thinking about something to do or writing lyrics. Like whenever inspiration hits, I just have stuff around my house at all availability. Like I don't have to wait to go to the practice space to make music. I like run over and grab the acoustic guitar, which I'm terrible at, but I'll at least like somehow write the notes and I'll be like, all right, cool, make a note of that for practice. All right, later. And then set it down and then run to the next, so.
Do you have like a notebook where you track all this, or where do you store your ideas?
Multiple notebooks.
I like that. That's very fitting.
Yeah. So each part of the house, there's usually some sketchbook or some kind of random. I'm like really into like, I love writing lyrics with very old mead or like 50-cent notebooks from like school from like the 80s. I'll look for them at yard sales forever.
Awesome.
I don't buy new ones. I love buying the old ones. It's like 25 cents, 50 cents, but I have a bunch of those stored everywhere because I was constantly write ideas. Or
I do the exact same thing with notebooks.
yeah, it's awesome. It's just like that's what they're there for. I don't know. Sometimes, but I'm at work though. Sometimes an idea will come to me and I'll just like leave a voice note real quick and then I put my phone back and then I only have like a split second to do some stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fast-paced job there. So
Very.
you don't take a notebook with you to work?
I used to take a small notebook, but it takes too long to do it. So now I just
Voice
message, or it all depends. Like sometimes I'll do a doodle real quick just to get like a sketch. Just the other day, this guy was killing me about, hey, I want an art piece. He's just like, I go, okay, I got like 2 minutes. Tell me all the things that you like. And I had a piece of paper. I wrote it all down. I went, cool, that's all I need. And he's like, wait, that's it? I go, yeah, it's all in this piece of paper. It's going right in my pocket, and I'll make sure to get you something in a few weeks. So yeah, this is kind of how it's always been.
So what sparks creativity for you? Is there anything specific, or it seems pretty much every aspect of life, something could just spark something for you?
It could be a look. It could be a casual conversation. I mean, even now, like you might even say something during this thing and I'll be like, oh, that's a really good thing. I just grab it whenever I can because I'm always thinking about multiple projects at the same time. If you're always focused on just one, well, what if you don't ever get there? But like us, like you and I, and few other people aren't afraid to just have all those idea boards out there. So I just grab wherever I can. Like I used to grab, like I said, conversations, or someone would say something at work, I grab something. I'll drive by and see like a skate spot and I'd be like, that just looks like really terrible, but I bet you I can make something work there. It's like skating. It's so funny because I'm just like, I don't think anyone would want to come here to skate or do anything here. I need to find a way to do something cool here. So, I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, that's kind of like my outlook on a lot of stuff.
I read something pretty cool when I was a teenager when I was first studying screenwriting, and they said to really get to know your environment, go and sit somewhere and close your eyes and listen to the sounds and then try to write what those sounds are.
Oh, okay.
Which I think that's something that you might
Sometimes
like that a lot too.
I do listen to music a lot with my eyes closed. A lot of people don't know that. When I go to shows, I do look like I'm into it, but so I have an area I've always hid at the show space, and I'm so sorry I'm not up front screaming and hollering, but sometimes I'm right next to the PA speaker and I just want to close my eyes and see what you do with not opening my eyes and really soaking it in, because I feel like that's when you really focus.
Honestly, yeah, you're more focused and into it.
I'm so focused. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I do that a lot, but then sometimes like visually I think about like music videos or something. I'll go to that area and I'll walk it before I even think about doing something, just to walk it. And then I'm just looking around at stuff and I'm constantly just like maybe like super sponging, like absorbing everything that's around. I mean, sometimes like I'm on railroad tracks, or I'm in an abandoned building where I'm waiting to get jumped, but I'm also like, well, I don't think anyone would want to be here anyway, but this would be perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is how it's always been. I love that you notice that about me, so
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Of course, man. And I think we're very similar in a lot of ways. One of them being we have to have a lot of projects at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always doing something, and I feel like I will always do something. And the moment I don't want to do something, I'm going to be like, oh, man, something's wrong. Because this has been that way for like 23 years, like of straight since 2000. I've been doing bands, skating, doing everything, and it's 23 years is a long time, so.
Are you a vivid dreamer? Do you have a lot of dreams at night?
So sometimes it goes in spans. In the last 2 years, it's gotten really crazy, but I don't know why, because I haven't hit my head in a long time. That's us knocking on the table. But no, it's just, sometimes it just happens. And I don't know. I think I'm always looking at multiple ideas, or I'm always seeing something that I think someone else can do, which is cool, because I think sometimes I miss someone being like, oh, you can like totally do that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, so I saw a photo today just from my friend Adam on IG, and I was like, oh, this photo's sick. He's like, is it an album cover? I'm like, well, I probably would like want to print from it, but I'm also like, you should probably use this for like your photo show next year, even though he doesn't have one. I'm trying to inspire my friends to be like, yo, you should totally do that. Don't be afraid. So I'm totally not. I don't. Yeah. I'm so used to this going, and I don't make a lot of money. That's why I still work.
Yeah.
So,
I have vivid dreams every night of my life. I don't know what it is. Pretty much my entire life I've been this way. And I get a lot of my ideas and my inspiration from my own dreams. And
That's awesome.
It's amazing. It's like, I'm the kind of person, I wake up with new projects.
oh, yeah. I've written so many lyrics on the way to work, music videos. I think like right when I wake up is like when the gears get going and it's fresh.
That's when you're the most creative.
Yeah.
Those few moments between waking and being asleep, fully immersed in deep sleep.
Yeah.
That's when you're the most creative. And if you can capture that, like, do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and write down ideas?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all the time, but sometimes. I mean, when I wrote the last Wipes record, I did a majority of the writing because I was just like, I know what I wanted in this band. So I was like, I know what I want the sound to be. You know, it's a continuation of Tile. So I was like, I already know, but I actually slept with a bass and an acoustic guitar on the other side.
Wow.
And I slept in a spare bedroom just because I was just like that focused. If any idea hits me or a rhythm, I noticed like right before I go to bed, a lot of rhythms would come to me.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's just very different. But I would just hurry up and grab something and then write it down, very minimalistic. And then I'd be like, all right, gotta go to bed. But I also thought like, wouldn't it be fun to be like a little kid? And when anyone says, you sleep with your instrument, I'm like, well, I want to say I've done it. So I can't lie and say I've done it. So I literally just laid my bass next to me and I was like, cool, it's the dog, myself, and the bass laying next to me. Because, you know, I get up at crazy hours. You know? Yeah, I go to bed late or...
You're up at like, what, 3:30?
3:30. So now it's been even earlier because of the season, but...
Yeah, I worked at UPS, so I'm very aware of those crazy hours. But then you're out at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but I've been doing a little extra hours with covering some people. So the income has been pretty nice the last few months where I'm like, weekly, this isn't a bad check. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like super strapped. And I just learned to cut out some of my expenses.
Yeah.
And
do you nap during the day or you just...
Yes, okay. I have to. Yeah. It's crucial.
Yeah, even like a 15, 20-minute nap can just totally reset you.
Yeah, so I've got it down to like maybe a 2-hour nap where but then I bounce up and I'm already going.
Yeah.
No wait, this coffee and cruise. So.
Yeah, when you dream while you're napping, you know you were tired. When that happens.
Yeah, I don't ever sleep that well. I think I sleep one day a week. I sleep like a good over 6 hours. Most of the time it's 3 hours or less.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's rough, man.
That's the life I chose with doing stuff.
I need my sleep. I often get the question, do you ever sleep? Because I do a lot of different projects. I'm like, yes, I have to. I wouldn't be able to function. I wouldn't be able to do any of these things if I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
But unlike you, I do watch a lot of TV. Not so like I don't have cable, but I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of like TV shows. But that's because I'm a filmmaker. And to me, that's almost like work.
No, that you're researching.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I do with YouTube. I just watch YouTube a lot. Even if it's for skating, I'd be embarrassed if certain people would know how much I watch their video parts because I'm just like studying spots or like studying trick selections. I think any creative would know at all times throughout your day, you're constantly researching and developing your skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's what we've trained our bodies to do.
Yeah, so skating is such an integral part of your life. How long have you been skating for at this point?
I mean, I've been skating since 1987, so that's a really long time.
Wow.
Give or take just a few years off, but I mean, yeah.
Was there anything specific that got you into it?
Yes, it was one of the coolest stories. So he was like a half brother. I never really got to know him, but he was a bit older than me. And at my Aunt Evelyn's house, it's still so vivid. I could close my eyes and see it. He was skating around, right? And I was thinking about getting a board. And I didn't even dress yet. But, you know, I'm like 11, 12, starting to like really like, sports is cool, but like, I don't know, this isn't really it. And then he literally did a boneless and then stepped off her bumper and then jumped in the air and landed. And I literally just lost it. I literally was just like, wait, you can do that? And he's just like, yeah, you can do anything. And I was like, no way. And I think literally that weekend I begged for a board. And then for Christmas, I begged for one and I got one.
Nice.
So, yeah. And then I found out after a few years, maybe a year or two, that the neighborhood had like a crew of older dudes. So I was buying hand-me-downs for $5 that should have been thrown away. But yet I'm like...
Did you skate with those dudes too?
Yeah, they were awesome. Launch ramps, curbs. Make use of your neighborhood because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't drive with them. I was too young.
No skate parks at that time either?
No, none. So the neighborhood was your skate park. Like literally certain curbs you can hit, curb cuts you can hit, grass gaps. And then a launch ramp, I was like, blown away. I'm like, wait, you can like go off this? Wow. I just got hooked because I didn't need anyone. I didn't need anyone sometimes. And I think that's when like I do my best sometimes when I'm by myself because then I'm not distracted.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But then also there's some skate sessions where I'm like, damn, I could really use a friend right now to hang out with, or just be like, get me to talk about something else instead of me just obsessing over why I keep falling on the same thing for an hour and a half, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you have to get out of your head, man.
Yeah. So
when did you first discover skate videos?
right around then, well, Skate TV. Nickelodeon, I think it was.
Oh,
yeah,
yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Skate TV. I was just like, on Sundays that would come on, I'm just like, that's cool. And then the older guys let me borrow a couple really early Plan B videos and then Pal Peralta. And I was just like, wow.
Were those guys filming anything in your neighborhood at the time?
No. I think video cameras were just coming out. They were like stupid expensive.
Yeah, they would have had to borrow their parents or something
yeah,
like that.
And that would have been like the
shoulder
shoulder
ones.
ones. So they weren't really doing anything. They weren't even like shooting photos, but they were so cool about letting me come along. And that's what I think was like my gift now to people is be like, there's always an open seat. Why don't you come out? I'll try to meet you out the show, but like, let's go do something. But when it comes to a skate session, I'm like, car's always there. As long as you don't trash it and be a pig, you can come along for the session. So that's what they did to me. And I kind of feel like that's...
You want to reciprocate.
Yeah, man. And it's also like super encouraging to be like, damn, like there's an open seat at all times. Like, I'm like, yeah. But if you don't do anything, it's kind of your day. I mean, I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to get in like a full 2 weeks worth of skating in one day. I'm going to try and film, shoot photos. And I just think like stockpiling stuff is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
kind of necessary too when you do so much.
Yeah. Because I don't know. You don't know. I tell people you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So
it's unfortunately true.
It's such a harsh statement, but it's also like it's real. So
well, it doesn't have to be a bummer if you don't let it. It can be incentive to like your book isn't aiming to be. Live your life to the fullest.
Yep. And that's what you should do. And that's what I mean, I'm literally doing it. And when we make these videos, I'm not trying to be rich and famous. I just want to do something so my friends look back on it and be like, damn, like, oh, I totally remember when we recorded that in that basement. Or like,
well, that's what's great about recording. You don't have to rely solely on memory.
Yeah.
And you don't have to describe a situation to a stranger who wasn't there or someone who wasn't there in general. You can show it to them.
Yeah.
That's the power of modern technology, which I love. So do you pretty much film every time you go out then at this point?
At this point, I love it. Yeah. The last 5 years, I've really changed my skating and I've gotten more creative, but it's also to keep me going. I made this goal. I even said it to Mike and I said, I want to learn one new trick a week. And it'll be like inspiring to me. Well, one new trick. I only have so many hours during the week, but maybe my head will think, and it's been exciting. Like I feel like a kid sometimes when I go back on my board. And
I think challenges and deadlines are so necessary and helpful to artists.
Yeah, 100%. So same with the book. I had a deadline. I knew what I had to do. I prepared. I started writing it. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to.
And if you didn't have that deadline, you probably would have put it off a little bit longer.
Which a lot of people do.
It becomes a priority.
Yeah.
Now, with so many projects, do you have to just prioritize, or is it kind of the thing you're the most interested in at that time?
So if it comes to the book, I know the book comes out every November, right? So August, October is like crucial time where I start writing it. And then each page is illustrated by hand and they're watercolor. So imagine drawing a whole page and then you're tracing it again. And then I usually do things in threes because I know by the third time I'm like way more in it. So by the third time, and then you go to paint it. Then you mess up the painting. Well, to me, I'm not going to do that. So I will scratch the whole thing and then start again. So each page usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But that's because I just want it to look cool. And each time you feel it. So
that's interesting. That's a really unique take on that process.
Yeah, because I don't use computers for the book. I mean, all the computer has done is digitizing at the end, where Adam takes a picture of the page
and just helps you lay it out.
And that's it.
Yeah,
I'm doing everything else. I hand them single sheets in the order, and then I make like an outline paper that says, "Follow this. If you get the sheets out of order, this is what it is. Please don't mess these up." Because he's like terrified because these are like the originals I'm handing to him, and he just takes pictures. So
well, since you're already talking about the book, how did you originally get the inspiration for the characters and the story?
Well, Jacob's a real person. A lot of people don't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is where like a dark, I don't know, like a really bad job, or to me it's just his job. But to some people it's excruciating. They have to get up at these hours and work. But to me, I know it's a job. So I saw in my eyes over 3 years ago this new kid, and his name was Jacob. And I was like, hey, I see you from a distance. You look like super sad all the time. I just want you to know there are people around here that actually care about other humans, and I'm one of them. So my name's Ray. I just introduced myself. And we got to talking, and then he's like, the conversation, you do skateboarding, you do art, you do photography. We're just going back and forth. But it'd be really quick. It'd be like, cool, I'm going to talk to you for 2 minutes really fast about stuff. You talk to me for 2 minutes, and then I got to run back to my station and do work. And then Jacob has a pet named Ridley. He really does. So that's why everyone's like, oh, this is like fake. I'm like, no, these are real people. Like, this is a real bird that is his pet. I just like started making small comics for him to cheer him up. Because you do something a little special for someone, you're going out of your way, and I'm like, it only takes me a few minutes. It's not like I'm coloring them. I just sketch them out real fast with a marker, and I go run over to him, read it to him, and get a smile out of him, and be like, here you go. I thought of you today.
Wow.
And then you'd be like, oh, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll talk to you later. And then I just go back to work. Because my idea is like, you can make people feel more comfortable in a work area. You can get more out of them. So that's why like management hates that I'm pretty cool with a lot of people, because they won't do anything management says. But if I ask, they'll all come running and they help. And then they'll be like, well, you've been here longest, or I like the way you talk to me. You don't talk to me like I'm an animal or like some dumb pet. I'm like, no.
That's a thing. I think the corporate world tries to be cold and inhumane with things. But what you do is such a better approach. I mean, who would argue otherwise? Yeah,
so even this like a tape gun. Okay, so quick story. There's this manager once who was like, no one listens to me. Ah! And I went, okay, cool. Do you want to try an experiment? And he just goes, yeah. I go, okay, I need a tape gun. I want you to go ask everyone real quick on the line. So he runs up there, slams his hand down. He's just like, I need a tape gun. You see all these kids disappear. And he comes over to me and he goes, all right, your turn. I go, yeah, I'm going to show you how different it is. Watch this. Hey, does someone like have a tape gun I can use? 3 of them come sliding towards me. And I run over, fake tape something real quick, slide it back. I go, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. And then like go back. And I go, that iron fist doesn't really work with a lot of people. You have to remember that. I mean, some people you might scare, and some people are like, I don't care.
Well, and the thing is, people don't want to deal with assholes.
Yes, 100%. So then he was just like, I can't believe that happened. I go, well, I think you might want to work on your approach to some people.
Yeah,
because you won't get the most out of them by being an ass. You know what I mean? Like, don't be an ass. Just be cool. I don't know. Talk to them like if they're a normal human. That's just the way it's always been.
Did he adjust his behavior after that?
A little bit, which was cool.
Good. Because it's one thing if you're not aware that you're being an asshole, but if someone points it out and you don't adjust your behavior, you got a lot of room for growth there, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Jacob and Ridley, it was just a kid, and I did like 3 weeks, 21 of them. I just handed them to him, or I show it to him, but I definitely gave him a bunch. And then out of nowhere, it was COVID time. So my friends had COVID babies that year. So it was like 4 friends had babies. And I was like, well, why don't I just make like a zine? I know how to make zines. I've been making them forever. So I made a zine, 8 pages, and I colored them and handed them out. And everyone lit up. They were so excited because they're like, how many are these? I'm like, 4. They're like, this is crazy. So when I got ready to give the 4th one, my friend said, Laura and Jake, they were like, for their daughter, they were like, look me dead in the eyes and go, I think you have something that you don't think you have. You might want to talk to someone about publishing. And I was like, no one's going to publish me. I go, dude, this is a random dude. But I sent an email to Josh Burke because we played there, I think, a couple times maybe, the library.
The Bethlehem Library.
Bethlehem Library. And Josh Burke, I didn't know he's the executive director. I just thought he was this dude that works there.
Yeah, Josh is awesome.
Super cool. So he said, bro, you made a zine, you made a book? What? A zine? Come in tomorrow. So I just brought it in the next day. It was a Tuesday. I'll never forget it. I brought it in on a Wednesday, showed it to him. He just was like, this is cool. I like your illustrations. He's like, it's a positive message. Do you think you can double the amount of pages? And I was just like, yeah. And he's just like, yeah, 16 pages. That's all it is. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like the shape. I like the size. It's different. It's not your average book. And I just like the way it looks because it looks like the way I do stuff. I don't want my book to look like everyone else's, obviously.
It's very much your style.
Yeah.
Because the one character I've seen you draw on skate ramps.
Yep, I've drawn it everywhere. It's just like, but at the end of the day, I want that to be my signature after so many years.
Which that would be Jacob, that character.
Yes, for sure. Jacob smile, the 2 eyes, nose, and frown.
Which, by the way, does Jacob still work with you?
No, it's a bummer, but we still keep in touch.
So he's aware of the books.
Yes. Oh yeah, all the time. We have
Awesome.
we have a contract. So basically, I said if anything ever happens, I'm gonna hook you up, and every issue I'll give you one. And because he knows I don't make a lot of money from them, he goes, if anything, I lost a lot of money on the first one just because I overextended trying to like make it better. So this time,
Learning process.
yeah. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm okay with losing money. It's just being able to accept failure. So, but to me, that wasn't really a huge failure because that's the first one.
That's the first step. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's a 5-book series through the library, so we just do one a year, and it's just like cool to do something with the library. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Like that's what I always say. I'm like, well, if I just like cover stuff and I'm doing all the lead work, and why don't we just collab together? It doesn't have to just be in skateboarding, and it could be in like books. It can just be in anything, music. I'm always interested. So,
And I love that the Bethlehem Library is always trying new things like that. Like they built the recording studio there.
yeah, for sure.
The Alternative Gallery has done retro arcades there. We've done screenings, which they just asked us to come back and do again, which we're all about.
Oh yeah, you should absolutely.
And so this time when we go do the screenings, we're going to bring out actual 16 millimeter film prints and a projector because we just saved a ton of really cool films over the summer.
Yes, I donated to that. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
yeah. Do I owe you a shirt or anything like that?
No, I was waiting for you to give me one big, nice hug and say thank you. So,
Well, I'm going to give you the hugest hug afterwards.
But yeah, no, I donated right away because I think it's awesome. You're preserving history. Not everything needs to be in a landfill. And I think stuff needs archival. And
Absolutely.
that's what you're doing. I mean, look at like artifacts or stuff that's like from like 1 trillion years ago. It's saved.
I know.
Yeah. So
Well, and that's part of my issue with so much of what's happening in Lehigh Valley right now with not overdevelopment, but with bad development is that we don't want to preserve things that are here. And the message that developers send me, at least on that, is, okay, you take away these things that are significant. Why should anyone ever care about what you're doing? We're not really building any kind of lasting culture. And that's so incredibly important. It's right. You want to keep things out of a landfill. And it reminds me of when we were having the last Arts Fest meeting, I asked you, because you help us with the skate aspect part of Arts Fest, and we were trying to figure out the budget, and we asked you how much money you needed. You're like, oh, $0, nothing. We go and we just find stuff in the trash and reuse it. I love that.
yeah, I mean, that's what it's there for. It's just recycle, reuse. I mean, James, my friend James, Jeremy, Tyler, everyone on the team always knows, like, whenever we do this event, it's just like, all right, plan like old school, bare minimum. Basically, all we have to do is just buy some bolts and screws, and that's it. Let's just find everything else and make it work. Pen sheet metal, my friend Mike Rader, super cool dude. I've known since high school and skated with him and gone to countless shows. As Scholar Harris is like, whatever metal you need for the ramps, I got you. Because I think it's rad what you're doing. And I'm like, awesome. So as you get older, you can still have those ideas of like just making a ramp or just like making anything possible with like pretending you have no money, like when we were kids.
Are there any specific memories that stick out about going and sourcing materials for ramps?
I save whatever I see. I know.
Like you're just driving around, you see something, you stop the car?
Yeah. I mean, it happened a lot the one year because I was drawing on trash for like a year till I was going to make a zine, and then I just stopped doing it because the phones updated too much, where I would just creatively draw my guy on the trash and then write something witty and then post it once a week on trash night, and like it would make me laugh. And then some of my friends would be like, the whole idea is like, my friends would drive around the neighborhood sometimes looking for it. It's like a scavenger hunt to be
fun.
like, yeah, they were like, yo, where is it? Because I won't tell you where it is, but if you hit it at the right time with the right sunlight, you'll see it. They would always find it funny. Plus, like, I drew on toilets just because it made me laugh.
How long did you do that for?
A whole year.
Wow.
Tuesday or Wednesday, I would go out and then just draw, take a picture, post it, and then I was going to make a zine. This would be like, I don't know, something, a dumb zine to make, be like my Wednesdays or whatever. That's what I would literally call it, because I was working and I'm.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, but it's just like fun, and it's just easy branding. And then sometimes there were people come out and they'd be so lost.
Really?
And oh my God, it'd be awesome. They're so like confused and
like, why are you drawing on my trash?
Yeah, why are you drawing on my trash? Or like me drawing on the toilet seat is what I could not stop laughing.
Did you get caught?
All the time. And I couldn't stop laughing because they'd be like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. This is like my logo. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, I'll turn it. So they'll have it turn one way. I'll turn it out towards the street, lift up the toilet seat, draw on the toilet seat, take a picture, and then one of my friends would text me they'd be driving by and be like, yo, on the corner of Harrison and 6th, I saw that toilet. That totally made, I can't believe. I'm like, yeah, I just did that like a half hour ago. It's like, oh, it's amazing. It made me laugh. I was like,
Suddenly you see the owner dragging the old toilet back into the house.
no, they don't know who I am. So this thing's some weirdo. But
For all they know, you could be the next Banksy.
yeah.
You ever see those people who go crazy when like Banksy does another piece and they try to like remove it?
Yeah, I don't think anyone saved my stuff, but I would resource then. So if I would see 2x4s or anything, or like a nice sheet of wood, I would be like, cool. Well, I'm just going to grab this. And then some people would even pull more stuff out of their garage.
Wow.
They're like, oh, you're going to use this? I'm like, yeah, we kind of do like this event once a year at Cedar Beach, and I need wood to use.
Nice,
so,
man.
Yeah, this is like, but once they hear that, they're like, well, yeah, it shouldn't go in the trash. You should take this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's just
How can we make the United States less of a throwaway culture? Like, what do you think we can do?
educate.
Yeah?
I think that's it. I mean, a lot of stuff I watch is education. I've been watching a lot of people overseas doing stuff, recycling tires and material, and even making like blocks for parks and stuff. Like they all start figuring out how to. There's a lot of people doing cool stuff. That's why it's like the YouTube research. I'm always like, oh, that's like a really cool way to reuse that, you know? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, sharing ideas and seeing what's happening in other parts, you're not just isolated to your own community, I think is so necessary to cross-pollinate ideas and concepts. I have a friend who's from Ecuador, and she was telling me that when she first came to the United States, she struggled to wrap her mind around junkyards because down there they don't have junkyards. You see a lot of old cars still being driven there because when it breaks down, you fix it.
Yeah.
And if you break down on the side of the road, you either just leave your car there until you can get a mechanic to come out and fix it, or you get it towed somewhere to fix it. They don't have junkyards. Just within a 5-block radius of this building, we must have like 6 junkyards.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, I know. Especially if we cross the bridge, there's a bunch of car places over there.
Yeah, it's rough.
I go skating over there a lot because I don't know. I like the way it looks, but it's also like it's kind of a shame that we just don't use something till its end.
Well, I think a lot of those places actually set up illegally because I was talking to someone from the city last year. They were doing some assessments down there when they were putting the new walking and biking trails in. Those junkyards are all on the floodplain for the Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Which goes to Little Lehigh, which is Allentown's source of drinking water.
Gotcha.
So you have these vehicles that are just parked on basically grass and gravel. So all that stuff's going in our drinking water.
Oh, crazy.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but the city is now aware of it and they're looking into it to some capacity. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, yeah, it's drinking water. Like,
we need water, man.
Yeah, it's like the building block of life. So Lost Soul Skateboards, how did that come to fruition? Where did you get your start with that?
Well, Dan Scott was the original owner. So he started this brand and he started, I don't know, I just kind of like saw how cool it was and there was potential. That's the only thing I get really into it. So I saw potential and I saw him. He asked me through email, like, hey, do you know a few riders that are local that might be into this project? And at the time I was riding for someone else. But I was just flow. You know, it was just like whatever. Whenever someone orders something through Homebase, they were like sending an extra board for me. So I was kind of like old in the game at that time to even be sponsored. I mean, now it's like anyone, but then it was just like, all right, this sounds kind of cool. And then I helped them build a team for the year because I was like picking out certain people. And then out of nowhere, I got offered a board. And I was just like already a pro for like a truck company. And then I was just like, I didn't even care. And then he was just like, no, I want you to do this. And after a year of doing that, he got in some financial problems. And it basically was like, I can't run this. You seem like you have a hand on it. You should go. And I'm like, dude, business? Are you kidding me? I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, okay. I think I sold a $400 record. It was called The Middle Class to Jamie at Double Decker. And then I think I got another $300. And then I bought the brand.
Wow.
And then I had no idea what I was doing. Someone's like, yeah, you got to come up with a logo. I'm like, what? Okay. So crash course in the business. Don't know what's going on. Trying to make ends meet. I'm printing shirts still the same way at my house most of the time, unless I use Chris Reject. But I still think it's really exciting when I can do it with my own hands.
Yeah, when things are handmade DIY, it's just so fun.
Yeah, and some of the times I would offer the guys to come over the years to be like team building party. I'll get some pizza or hang out. Or if you just want any of your, like, I can't give you all the shirts you want, but if you want to buy some or you have something old that you want printed on that you like, I'll print on it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, just bring it over. So, been that way after that first year, and then it's just been all me the whole time. No investors.
So what's like the focus now? Like, do you consider like a line of skate merch?
Yeah, I mean, we have like, I do shirts whenever I can. I usually do boards once a year. With no investors, it's a struggle sometimes. So with the inflation the last year, it was really hard for me to figure out stuff. But I refuse to quit.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I don't care. So
And you design everything?
I try and design almost everything myself. The collages are all hand done. The drawings all hand done. I have a few friends in graphic design that will just help. I just get them scanned and then send over files, and they do that stuff so I can just kind of move on to other stuff. But this year I already started drawing. Right now I started doodling for next year to get some ideas. So kind of want to like come out double, like fighting this year, be like, all right, last year was really rough for everyone, but like I want to make it happen because there's some like big stuff happening next year. Yeah, it's kind of like just make ends meet. That's it. I get made fun of for doing it sometimes, but I don't think anyone realizes like I'm using my own money, no investors, to give my friends stuff to use for free most of the time. Can you imagine if you had a friend who was just like, hey, I think you're like really cool at what you do. I don't want anything from this. I just want you to have it and use it because you're really good at it. And if we do this together, probably in a few years, each year, I do a video like every 2 to 3 years because it's kind of like a chapter of our lives. I'm always like, well, we'll start filming a video and we all do it ourselves.
Like Magic Camera?
Yeah, Magic Camera.
Which you did the release for here back in, what was that, 2016?
Yeah, it was a while ago for sure. But it's just like you just keep, I don't know, just try and make ends meet. I don't make a lot of money, barely break even.
So people make fun of you because you put all this time in.
They're like, you're not this big business person, or your skating's whack. Why do you even do this? I'm like, the whole idea is like anything skateboarding is cool. I don't know why like everyone's so like judgmental over gatekeeping. Shit is stupid to me.
I think too, gatekeeping, I mean, it's just lame as hell in general. But I think with the United States, we worship the businessman. So if you don't follow that lead, you're a chump.
Yeah.
I get the same thing, man. The Alternative Gallery has been around for 11 and a half years. I still am a volunteer here. And a lot of times people don't understand why I do what I do. But it's like, yeah, if I didn't do this, we wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
And look how little there is already. And people see how much work I put into this, so you think they're going to just, do the same thing? No, I'll be the crazy guy that no one understands. That's fine, but at least we have it.
Yeah.
So I think you and we're cut from the same cloth in that way, my friend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just like, I just want to keep doing stuff. Like, there's no reason why you should stop. I mean, unless nothing ever sells. I don't know, I just had an order from like England the other day from some band member that I was like, I haven't heard from him forever. That was awesome. He bought a shirt, didn't question it, and loves the idea of like supporting what I do. To me, some of those days, or like someone orders a book that I didn't expect, and I'm like, there is still hope for humanity. That's what I think.
There is.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
there
Like
is.
there
Yeah.
is still, it's not every day is super discouraging. Every day, no. And I don't let it be that way. To me, I think I'm very blessed in like whatever happens positively, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Even like those negative vibes provide me a source of encouragement because I'm just like, well, who are they to say like I can't do this stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not living in my shoes. They're not getting up my hours of work. But
And really,
like,
there's no rules to this stuff.
no. So it's just like, so yeah, Lost Souls has always been like carefree. I want our videos to look different. I don't want to look like everyone else's. I mean, like I said, inspiring your friends to create or even do tricks is super cool. Do you know what it's like? When's the last time someone pulled you aside and said, dude, you totally got this. I know you've been crashing forever, but you totally got it. And I'm filming it really cool. And when we do the end project, you're going to look at that video part and be like, damn, like I really did it. There's not many people that do that anymore. So my job as a human is to encourage my friends to let's do cool shit. And we'll have something at the end. So I make goals. Like you said, goals are really important, but they are. So we have a video goal of every 2 to 3 years to have like a cool team video. And yeah.
Goals are the most important when things aren't going well, because it's a reminder of what your destination is and what you're working towards. Because if you're going day after day and you feel like you're not making any progress because you don't really know what direction you're heading in, you can say, okay, well, I didn't get very far today, but I am further along than when I woke up today. And any progress is progress. And you got to sometimes take what you can get.
Yeah, for sure.
How often do you travel for skating?
I mean, Japan. So some of my stuff is in Japan. My one friend, super cool guy I've known since the military when I was there. He still kept in touch. So after I don't know, I wasn't there for like a really long time. And then we relinked and rekindled stuff. And he helped me get the brand out there more. And then when we do our video premieres here, I'm also planning a video premiere down south where Irving is from. And then I'm doing a video premiere in Japan. And it's also so that's what the whole year is. And they enjoy blue collar people who just get down. And it's really refreshing because they know how much work it is and they're down to support it. I always bring up this thing because I'm like, some of you are my friends, I can't even get them to help me wear a shirt or buy a shirt for $10. But over there, you're handing out shirts that you made and they're freaking out because they're like, wait, you made this? I'm like, yeah, in my kitchen. And they're like, what? Because I speak Japanese too. So it's just an endless building thing. So as far as our stuff goes and me traveling, probably the farthest would be Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which it was one of the places I'm fascinated by.
Oh, it's amazing.
How many times have you been there?
Well over 5 or 6. I can't remember. I mean, I lived there for 3 years in the military.
That's right, you did.
Yeah. So when I came home, I was just like, I really miss it. And my friends are super cool still. So
did you learn Japanese before moving there?
No.
While you were there?
While I was there.
And back then, no one spoke English there, right?
Barely any.
Now it's more common for them.
Yeah, because of the Olympics, things have definitely changed in the last 5 years.
And as you can see how us Westerners are very inspired by anime and Japanese culture. I think it's kind of the same with Japan. They're very inspired, especially by our movies and entertainment.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing that made them want to learn English.
Yeah. And the spots are cool there. So, and when I go, it's I go to have fun, but I'm also networking like a madman and also skating.
How long do you go for?
I usually do a 9-day trip. So I'm supposed to go back in this March.
And you stay with friends when you go?
Sometimes. Other times I've gotten a hotel. It's really not that bad. Outside of Tokyo, an hour and a half, and where my naval base used to be, it's not that really expensive. It's just basically normal prices. I'm not extravagant. I don't need pristine, crazy, nice stuff. So
yeah, I finally just got my passport this year
there you
after
go.
Slacking for many years. So I'm dying to get there, as well as South America, because I have so many great friends from South America. And if you know somebody from somewhere, especially another country, take advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%.
If you got a local that'll show you around, you're not just on a vacation, you're on a cultural excursion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful for you, how many doors he's opened, and my friend Uru, who owns Kukunochi. It's a distribution there. They still hold on to really cool relationships. So I'll remember the last dinner I had before I came home from the 3 years I was there, and they were like, you made us a better person because you got us to appreciate what it is, what we do all the time. And skating and friendship, because I wanted to eat meals with them. I wanted to respect their culture. I wanted to see stuff. And I think I didn't want to be a bad ambassador. I want to show people that there are some Americans that have their shit together. So
manners are very important to Japanese. So I think if you show that.
Yeah. So they decided, well, we're never going to, I'm like, I'll be back. And they were like, what? I'm like, I'll be back. I'll save money, come back here. I said, you guys will probably all have families, but you never know. So that's just the way it's been. So
wow.
I'm supposed to go back in March for an art show I'm having.
So you're doing an art show there?
Yeah, this March.
Wow.
Yeah, late March. I've been working with this shop called Trope. So during one of our video premieres, I met the owner's boyfriend. He just came and he was just super nice. And I was setting up the art pieces and I'm like, oh my God, I've never done an art show here. I'm so weirded out. I'm so nervous. I don't know if anything's going to sell. And I just did watercolors, my own style, and acrylics. And he just started speaking perfect English. And I was just like, yo, your English is immaculate. You are great. And he goes, when the American bands come over, I'm the translator. So I just hang out and drive them around and do all kinds of stuff. So I was like, oh. And then he just goes, they said you're in a band. Can I hear it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Give me your phone. I pull it up. Here, listen to this while I set up the art show. Next thing you know, it's just we just kicked it off. So for years, I've been sending stuff there to his girlfriend's shop. And I'm just use this doodle. I don't care. I don't want nothing from it. Just use it for something cool. Cause I feel that's a great way of networking. Just be appreciative of what you can do for someone. You know what I mean? So I've had some shirts come out through her shop. I did an art show there last winter. I just sent a bunch of postcard size stuff. She sold it. We split the money the right way that I thought was like very convenient. And then they like get to keep their small shop around. So it's like super cool. So
Wow.
this year, yeah, I'm supposed to do like myself and another artist. We're going to take over this one gallery space, I think for 3 days. And I'm going to start painting in January, but I'm just going to do all sizes. And then, I don't know what's going to happen. Cause like the details are kind of like, I know they all have lives too. So it's like, I'm not trying to be like, I need the details. But they gave me, like I said, I can make it this week. If we do anything cool, if we don't, cool. I'm still coming because I just want to get away. I miss going there. I love Japan. I love ramen.
When's the last time you went to Japan?
2-3 years ago. Right before, well, I mean, definitely before COVID. So like 18 or 19. Yeah, but I love it there. So, but yeah, the art show would be sick. I mean, she just sent me a picture of, she took one of my doodles and made it into a business card. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome. I did that on vacation at my uncle's house. I just drew something, screenshot it, scanned it, and then send it to him. I'm like, use this for something cool. So, yeah.
Do you buy a bunch of records or anything and bring them back with you?
Not always, because I'm always worried about how much crap I buy and how much crap I take. So
that's my concern, because the video games, the movies, I mean, even Japanese releases of American movies, I just need it for the collection.
Yeah, I mean, you can ship stuff back, no problem.
It's probably the cheaper way at this point.
Yeah, but
have you priced plane tickets? Is it a lot more expensive now?
I don't know. I'm kind of scared to look, but I'm also like, well, that's why I work all the time. So I've been smartly putting away money for that ticket,
squirreling it away.
Yeah, just because like I want to do cool stuff.
Yeah,
I know it's like an expensive ticket, but it's. I think I always tell people, when it's my time to go, I'm going to be not rich with money. I'm going to be rich with memories, and I'm down. Like, that's all I need. I just want to look back and be like, I had a really cool, full life. Like, that's it. I'm appreciative to so many opportunities that people have given me that I'm like, I don't care about money. I really don't. I still could be like, oh, I need these pants, or I need this limited, super expensive. Oh, no, I don't. I don't care. I just want to be rich with good times. And
well, you're more about experiences too.
Yeah, obviously from the books you can tell. Yeah, that's what I want. So, but March will be coming up real soon, so I gotta get to work in a few weeks.
Absolutely, it's gonna come super fast here, man.
Yeah, I know.
How long are you going for that one? You said I know that the show is 3 days.
It's gonna be a 9-day trip. It'll be like a Saturday to a Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. I'll just make use of it and figure it out. 9-8 days. It's like over a day for travel. You gain a day, then you lose a day. So
how's that jet lag? Do you ever get jet lag?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
But how can you?
You just eat some ramen and you're good.
As tired as you are, you're just looking around. You're like, I'm here, man. I'm not tired at all.
David Chang talks about how it's almost impossible to find bad food in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I love street food, street vendors.
Same.
Yeah, it's sick. Like I said, experiences. So I'll buy food next to the train station that's like on the side street. That's super cool that you're literally eating off a skewer.
Even 7-Eleven there is next level.
Yeah, 7-Eleven is cool, but Lawson's is awesome. And then I love Family Mart. Family Mart is like the epitome. Family Mart is to the Lehigh Valley of what Wawa is.
Oh, wow.
When you walk into Family Mart, you're just like, I have that Wawa feeling where I'm like, damn, this is like Wawa. Awesome. And I can go into any Family Mart and it's like this.
And they got sick vending machines everywhere.
Everywhere. You can imagine. I mean, the arcades are insane. So
I need to get there so bad.
Just go.
I'm working on it. We got a few trips scheduled for next year. Have you traveled around America at all? Because like I like to talk to artists about where the art capitals of America are so that other artists can visit.
I haven't been offered, honestly, but I also I don't search too much because I only have so much vacation.
Sure.
Paid vacation. So
Los Angeles, you ever spend time there?
I've been there for like one trip a long time ago. But it was just a skate trip. It wasn't like I got to walk around or do art museums. I would go. If anything, my family trip this year to Minnesota, we do it once a year.
Is that your second big trip? You said you have 2 this year.
Oh, the other trip is coming up is in May, and Wipes is playing the West Coast.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been kind of So Hex Records is like put out our first record, our album, and they're huge Tile fans. So Ryan from Hex is super cool dude, and he saw what Wipes was. I sent him a few songs. I said, it's Tile with a new guitar player, and he went nuts. He was so hyped. So he did our album, and then he talked, and he's like, what's it going to take for you guys to travel? And I said like this, someone to ask. And he went, wait, what? And I went, ask. Just ask me. What's your idea? What do you want? Do you want me to come out? I said, you live out in like Portland. Do you want me to come out there for like a few days or something? And he went, is it really that easy? I go, just ask me. I said, I have so much stuff going on in my brain that I can't beg to do all this stuff. But then out of nowhere, he was just like, do you want to play a few days here? And I was like, how about this? How about we fly out on like a Wednesday and then we play Thursday through Sunday of shows. And then I'll fly home Monday with my guys. And he was just like,
in Portland.
Yeah, so
I'm planning to go out there this coming year too, so maybe I'll come out and see a show.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's May 1st we're trying to fly out, and then Portland, Seattle, Eugene,
wow,
and one other place. But he's all like, he kind of is decided to arrange a Hex Records Fest. I think it's like 25 years or something. It's a long time he's had that label. So he's like, well, I have this idea of maybe doing a fest if you can get out here. And I was like, if you do that fest, I will absolutely make sure myself, Mikey, and Ben go. And if not, I will make sure there's replacements that go because I want this trip. I want this experience. So yeah, that's in May.
So you said Wipes is a continuation of Tile. Does that mean Tile's not a band anymore?
No, Tile is not a band. Tile Mike's all adulted out.
Yeah,
he's like,
got the kiddo.
I'm proud of him, man. Like, he's a family dude. But he also told me when Susie was pregnant the first time, he was just like, hey, man, like, I got to be a dad now. And I was like, I 100% understand. And he's just like, really? I go, it is one of the most heartbreaking things because I've done that. Tile was around for since 2006 or something.
Yeah, I was a huge Tile fan.
Yeah,
man.
so
I mean, I even went out to like Philly with you guys on some occasions.
Yeah, like I think 12 years or something. I was like, so I lost like my best friend, even though we're still friends. It's just like, fuck. Like, I used to see this guy every Thursday for years, play share the stage, playing music. You look over, you see him this angry, and you're like, yes, we're just doing us. And
always wearing the white T-shirt.
Yes, that was his thing, and I get it. But yeah, so Wipes is a continuation of Tile, and it's still the same message. It's still what I'm trying to do with music. Ben's a new guitar player for like the last year, so I don't have to explain much to him. He knows what I'm doing, and he knows my past stuff. He's really got in the flow of things, and we just recorded in this last year. We did a 80s track for some comp, and then we just recently finished a song for Jesus Lizard comp that's coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
that's an official compilation.
I guess so. The way the label is, they asked us out west, like, if we would do it, and I said we were one of the first ones asked because of Hex Records, so they were like, would you pick a track? So we picked a track, and we did Seasick, and then we recorded 4 tracks for like a cassette. So I'm going to do the vocals in January, I think. Because now it's just like too close to the holidays. I need some time to like, lyrics are forever. So it's kind of like I don't want to rush and write something. And I'm like, oh, God, I hate it the way it sounds. But it's kind of like a precursor or like to like the album that's we're going to record an album next winter. And that's going to come out in 2025. So it's crazy it is. That's kind of how I do everything. I kind of plan everything really in yearly, but like in a mental whiteboard. I don't have any boards at my house.
I think it's good structure.
But it just makes it, yeah, exactly. Good structure, goals, and I love timelines. I don't beat it into anyone for like skating or the band, but I'm also like, I just don't want to meet every Thursday and we just like stare at each other. I kind of want to have goals. It feels good to like write a song or work towards a project.
Well, and time is important. You don't want to just throw it away when you could be doing something else.
100%. So I think these 4 songs, there's just going to be a little teaser of like what the album's going to be. And then I think 2 weeks ago, I wrote 2 songs for the album already. I'm just like, all right, well, I know how many songs it's going to be. I don't want to play that much on purpose until the album gets closer. And then I'll be like, all right, now we got to really get our ass in gear. So it's kind of how it works.
Planning any music videos for that?
I would love to. I mean, God, I have so many good ideas all the time. You're probably the same person, like constantly writing.
I think we should probably collaborate in a music video, to be honest, because I haven't done anything like that in a long time. And I mean, I love what you do musically. It's always really connected with me because it's strange. Your music is angry, but you're not angry at the same time.
No, I'm not always angry, but I love that the emotions of music that can make you angry.
Yeah.
But
Which makes you feel better in the end.
Yeah. Oh my God. I tell everyone when we play or whenever we get done with practice, I'm like the happiest dude. Because they're like, well, what is that? I'm like, because I have like 2 hours of therapy.
It's your outlet. It's
that is,
and and that's one of the great things about artists is we have these outlets. I think maybe like what you said earlier about how your friends in Japan appreciate what you do here more than Americans. I think they understand the importance of these outlets.
Yeah.
In a way that Americans don't, because 100%. It's not monetized.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't need. Yeah, I'm not trying to get rich, man. I want to be rich in memories, and I tell everyone that and experiences, and I'll repeat that till the day I die. You know what I mean? So I'm actually like probably one of the most chill people to talk to after band stuff. I'm just like, oh, you want to like hang out? You want to talk?
Yeah.
Like I'll go for a walk and go get pizza. I don't care. They're like, yeah, you were just freaking out, and you almost look like you're gonna smash your bass in half. I'm like, but yeah,
I've seen you get nuts up there.
Yeah, but that's the music. That's the way music does it to me.
Yeah,
like, yeah. I don't know. It's just you have the same routine over so long, and it works. And to me, it works because Mikey, our drummer, is one of the best drummers I ever heard. But he also has been playing since he was a little kid, so he's playing for 20 plus years, and it's like that look that you can give each other that you know when it's supposed to change. Or I give him the look, and I literally say to him, "Show me," and he just goes to town, and I'm just like, I know he's there. I know, and I want people to see how talented my friends are, because that little bit of shine can really go a long way.
Yeah,
and that's the way it's always been. It's like that's why you do these projects. You're just like a little bit of shine that we can develop together can really impact someone's life. And whether or not people don't, they're always like, "Oh, you're some workhorse," and then I go, "No, I'm trying to showcase my friends, man. That's the way it's always been." I mean, Christ, I wrote a record called Making Friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a positive way and also a negative way.
Didn't you also, wasn't the one tile record, You've Got a Friend in PA?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, bro, come on. So yeah, I told Mikey, I go, I want us to do this show out west because I want people to see you play. I want people to be like, holy shit. It's not always about me. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just singing and playing some simple notes, but he is by far way more talented than all of us. I always think like the drummers are like the spinal cord of the band.
The backbone for sure.
Yeah, but they're also like, they have to listen to the guitar in one ear. They have to listen to the bass in the other ear. They have to listen to vocals, and they have to figure stuff out, and they know changes.
And they can't fuck up the timing.
No. So I'm always like, man, I'm so proud of all my bandmates, future, and the past, like for how long. And we've all done playing music for like 23 years in so many projects.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, during Thanksgiving, my niece is showing me stuff about music, and she's telling me how to like put records in bags to take care of them. And I go, yeah, it's cool. And she's like, really? And my wife's looking at me like, don't say it. Do you know what I do? Well, I heard you do something. I go, how about we go to Discogs? So we go to Discogs, and I said, why not just put my name in there? And she puts my name in there. I go, this is all the stuff that I've been doing, plus there's not everything listed. And she had no idea. Because you got to remember, 23 years ago, they weren't even around.
Discogs.
Yeah. Well, no. They, like as humans, because she's so young.
Your niece.
Yeah. So she has no idea that like when she was 6 or something, that I was already doing a band for 6 years. And she would never go see a show. She's only 6.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny that
I love Discogs, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm a big user of that platform.
Yeah, I love just seeing what people do. But then that was the description of like, cool, this is what your uncle has done in the last 23 years, but I'm not done. So, all right, now you know like all these. And then she was just, so give my friends a place to shine. That's my goal. Yeah.
Speaking of records, we lost one of the greats this past week, Double Decker Records.
Oh, yeah, December 2nd. That was a hard one.
Yeah. So I guess before anything, you used to work there. Can you tell me what your experience was working at Double Decker Records here in Allentown on St. John Street?
I was there for 8 years, and I think when I started, Jamie asked me, he's like, I want to change roles. I kind of want to kick back this price stuff, and I want you to be the face of the store. And I remember that conversation because I was just like, okay. I managed other businesses before. I was a manager at Homebase for 3 years. I did that. So I became like a face there every day. So I was just like, well, I know how to do that. I ran my other friends, like my mom's business for like 8 years. I ran Aritas for like 8 years. So,
And you lost Soul.
yeah. So I'm just like, I have all experience. So I think I love meeting new people and inspiring or showing them new music was one of the coolest things ever. Or just being like, this is your local source for knowing whatever you want. Just come here and I'll put you, whether it could be go across to the street and get good Mexican food, or there's a show going on at Secret Art Space or the Burners, or there's a show at the Alternative Gallery. Like I would just like it felt good to be like point people in so many directions where like I'm like part of the nucleus, and I feel good about like sending out those things, because then people are like, well, shit, I'm just going to go to the store then. And that's what you want. At the end of the day, you just want people to come to the store. Whether or not they buy stuff, you get to see a good face.
It's not just a store, it was a hub for culture.
Yeah, so that was 8 years of that. And then I basically was just like, I had to stop because COVID was so insane at UPS that I could not work 16-hour days anymore and still be in a band, still run a skateboard company, still try and be, doing projects. I'm just like, I literally couldn't do it. I'm like, so I had to bow out, and I just told him, I'm like, I'm overworking myself. I'm giving myself anxiety. My hair's falling out, literally, because I was waking up with my hand pulling out my hair, full clumps of hair.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I was so like, I can't.
Pure stress.
Pure stress. So I had to bow out. But this experience there, I mean, I've been friends with Jamie forever. So I was there since the first shop, and
I'm sure you continued as a customer after that.
yeah, it's just like I laugh, but I mean, life has like, they give you challenges, and I mean, I still collect records. It wasn't a priority anymore. If anything, I was like, well, I'm doing this stuff. I gotta make it more solid. So that's when I dove back into skating a little bit harder, and then dove back into band, being like, all right, I really gotta fine tune this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've really got to get my act together. But I have lots of love for that store. I mean, it was our practice space for many years. We recorded tile stuff there.
Yeah, I remember seeing you guys play in the basement the one time, and I was like, how the hell do they even fit down here?
Yeah, so it became such a hub. So that Saturday, December 2nd, it was heartbreaking, but only because I knew the culture hub it was, right? It was the spot. So when I saw so many faces, I was just like, I know I haven't been here in a while, but the memories just came back. And even like,
the place always felt the same.
yeah, so it's just like, it's super cool. But my friend Arthur was in town for the last day, and he played in Carpenter Ant. Now he's like a famous producer, and he's like playing in killer shows. But I was like, Arthur, we gotta go down in the basement. And like, you remember, he goes, no, we need to. This is the end of the end. And we're like, is this ever gonna be another space for music or anything or creative stuff? I've written songs down there, countless sets, countless song ideas. I mean, we shot a tile cover photo there, Bad American laying on that floor with someone that's like taking a picture. It just had so many memories to me that I was like, I kind of felt like sick sad, where I'm just like, damn, this was like the hugest part of my life for 8 years,
So it was a total surprise to you when they announced on Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the post too on IG, and I was like, that kind of stinks. But I'm like, okay, I'm just praying he was healthy, because that's the thing where like that can just come out of nowhere, where someone just gets sick and you have no control and stuff's over.
Yeah.
And luckily, Jamie's just like, no, I want to do something different with my life, and this was a really long run. So I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I respect that, but for me, I mean, it's heartbreaking because there's not even a near second of what could be taking its space.
No, and
I think with such a major transition right now in the Valley, it's like such a huge blow.
Yeah, I mean, music is everything to everyone.
I know.
Christ, it's just like, everyone knows it. You might not agree on the same politics. You might not agree on the same church and state, but do you know what? When you hear that song drop and you both look at each other and you're both nodding, you're like, yo, that's what's up. Like right now we're having that moment. Whether you're some weirdo or non-weirdo, some corporate weird, damn, like, yeah, because I've done it. I've purposely played songs where to see how people feel, even at UPS.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah, well, why not? So I'm just like,
Cool.
I love music. So, I like asking people, specifically, I think about meeting people at everywhere I worked, because You never know who you're talking to. There was so many times at the record store, I had no idea I was talking to some lead singer from LCD Sound System. I had no idea. Do you know what? He just came in the store, seemed mad cool, and I was just like, yeah, cool. Thanks for coming. There's some stuff over there. The new stuff's in the corner. If you need any questions, hit me up. Or like the owner of TP Records, famous records. No idea. Some DJs that are like huge in Europe. No idea. They just were told this is a cool store. It's not like you can evaluate. I'm like looking at their eyes and I get like this computer Terminator thing where I just know everything about them.
You're not giving them a questionnaire when they come in.
No, it's just like, dude, you're in the know because you're here.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. So I was just like, well, you got to be somewhat of a decent human to come in here. So cool. I'm just glad you're here and you're supporting my friend's business because my friend pays me to run his business.
People travel from all over to come there, even outside of the country.
Yeah. My favorite with that was like people from Europe would be fun, but more or less when Jamie found out that I knew Japanese, the Japanese dealers couldn't talk shit anymore.
Ooh.
So I think one time, I'll never forget it too, they were like totally saying a bunch of stuff. And then Jamie was next to me. I knew everything. I was like laughing because I'm just like, oh my God, they're totally ripping him apart. But I'm like, oh wait. So he goes, simasen, toilet. And I go, oh, go down, Migi. He started walking and he just went, what did you just say? And I went, Migi, right. And he went, you know Japanese? I go, the whole time. I lived in Japan for 3 years. Dude, that went around like wildfire. Through emails, text to everyone, like you cannot come to the store and talk shit anymore because the employee knows what's up. So Jamie thought it was really funny.
So wait, dealers would come from Japan to buy records at Double Decker?
Yeah, all the time.
What else are people coming to Allentown for from Japan? Probably nothing.
Nothing. I don't even think like all the guys that I know from the record store, the Japanese dealers, there'd be old school dealers, there'd be the younger dealers, there'd be the younger DJs. It's just a store. So it's like, that's what I mean. It was like the hub for everything. So
yeah, I mean, so many of these records here in my office came from Double Decker. Did you buy anything that last day?
Of course.
What'd you get?
Local stuff.
Local stuff.
Because that's how it started for me.
Very fitting. Very poetic of you.
It's kind of weird, but it was just like, I could buy any of this shit, but like, I remember coming to the store and buying local bands first. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to buy some local stuff. So it felt cool. I'm just like, oh, these are records I just haven't had a chance to give a chance to. And I see them doing stuff. I see them doing stuff all the time. And I really respect that their creative endeavors have turned into records. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to buy their record. And I felt cool because you're supporting your community. You know what I mean?
It's so important. Yeah. We've been talking about opening a video store here in Allentown, and we would have a section for music. And for me, it would be largely focused on local releases.
Like I said, I question everyone at work it's so funny because my question will be like, how are you doing today? And then they're like, I don't know. I go, cool. What'd you do this weekend? Or like, what are you up to now? And they're like, yeah. I go, can you tell me stuff that you do outside of here? Because you just never know. I've met some great filmers, great musicians. I mean, the newest singers have come up and shown me some stuff. And I'm just like, that is what's up. That's cool. But I think it also jogs them from thinking like, oh, this is a fucking dark warehouse and I'm fucking moving boxes for this company that doesn't care about us.
It's easy to feel hopeless in certain situations.
But I'm just like, no, hey, what's up? Tell me about your weekend. Or what new song are you working on? Because sometimes I'll hear something and I'll be like, you should go with that. That's super cool.
You know, your parents named you appropriately because you are a ray of sunshine.
I hear that all the time from this woman at work, and I think it's so funny because I'm just like, stop saying that. But no, it's just, listen, life is way too short to like always be miserable, and I feel like people need to remember that there's other people who are actually out there with music too. I need stuff for skate video stuff, so it's just like I'm always thinking about that, being like, maybe I can get one of their tracks for one of our things, or maybe I can use it for like an outro, just like how you would do filming for a movie. I'm always thinking about scenes, and I'm always thinking about my writers would be like, I want to use this big, and I go, we have to pay for rights, so we have to do all this stuff. It's gonna be really hard.
That's the big problem with video.
I kind of give someone exposure because we can get that track for free, and they're going to be cool with it, and all I got to do is just name drop them in the credits, and they're like, oh, I'm like, well, that's just kind of how I've been trying to do it.
Well, and usually those people on the same level with you creatively and maybe even culturally.
Yeah, the store was awesome. It was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace. I don't know.
So this will make you happy. I have the double-decker sign.
You got one?
I have the sign.
The sign?
We went and took it off the building.
Wow.
I walked in. I couldn't come Saturday, so I went Friday, the day before they closed, December 1st. And I walked in, and Jamie's sitting there talking to someone, and he immediately stopped. She's like, hey, glad you stopped in. I wanted to talk to you. He goes, you want the sign? Because we have kind of like a sign museum going
I was
here
going
at
to
the
say,
gallery.
that's amazing. That's
I was
awesome.
like, yeah, of course I want the sign. So he's
Wow.
like, so we're outside after I spent over $200 in records that day. I bought a ton of stuff. Like that box sitting over there is part of it. I got a lot of stuff that day.
Sick.
Things I've been eyeing for a while. It's like, I'm not going to have another chance. It's all some record store outside of Pittsburgh bought it, and it's all going out there. So whatever you didn't get that day was gone. So we went on Monday, 2 days after they closed, and we got up on the ladder and we took it down. And I didn't want to wait because on Friday before I left, he goes, you can have it unless someone gets to it first.
Oh.
I was like, I will be here on Monday for that sign. So before you leave, I'll take you to the basement.
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we're going to preserve it. It's going to be, on display.
Yeah, it's like one of the best businesses in the Lehigh Valley. It was like 27 years or something, Jamie said?
27 years.
Yeah, it's like fucking so cool. That, like,
I know.
I watched my friend struggle to keep that alive when it first started.
Because vinyl and physical media was not a thing.
Not a thing.
And he held on knowing when everyone said that vinyl wasn't going to be a thing, and then he closes it. When 2022, vinyl outsold CDs for the first time since 1987.
Yeah, he said this year was the best year it's ever been.
Yeah.
But he's just like, I kind of want to do something different. And I was like, thank God, because I thought something medically was wrong, and I kind of was like, damn, this is like my friend from a really long time. I really hope that it's not something tragic. And it's a new chapter. I get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But for us, I think it's going to be a very, very long wait, if ever, until something fills that void.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I don't know. I hate to say it, but I've already been approached in the last 2 weeks about, hey, we're thinking about maybe doing something. We might need your help. And I'm like, all right, if it's the right people, I might dive in. And then they were like, wait, what? I'm like, because I love building the community. You know what I mean? Like that underground community of people is so crucial because that's the vast majority of what's around here.
And hubs are essential to making that work.
Yeah, so you never know, but twice.
Please do. And if I can support in any way.
Twice in the last 3 weeks, I've been approached, being like, hey, we're all bouncing this idea around. And I said, I don't have the mental ability right now to deal with this because I'm dealing with other stuff. But if you get something more and you want me to come in for like a meeting and sit down and hear what you have to say, then I'll come in. I
was going to jokingly say you should open a record store, but I was like, he's got too many projects going on. And hear you just say, maybe I'll get involved.
Yeah. Well, I play in a band. I've been playing music forever. I love it.
It's like your temple.
Yeah, but it's like when I worked in the store, it's like sending people to the cool places. And it's just like, I'm not sending you to the mall. I don't care about big chain shit. You know what's cool? When my friends that have cool DIY stuff I know that have struggled to get there, being like, we're like the Spanish place across the street. They make the best fucking tortas. And I'm just like, I tell everyone, don't go over to Zandy's. They were so mean to me for so many years. I said, the best Mexican food on the corner. Go right over there. They're so freaking nice. They'll appreciate it. And they're just trying to get by.
Is Zandy's mean because of the parking?
Yeah, for years. And then one owner's son or something threatened to beat me up, and it was really funny because I was just asking him. I just finally had enough of him yelling at customers, and I remember it was a record store day. They were yelling at customers. A customer came in saying, "This guy screamed at me across the street. I want to come here, but this guy." So I'm like, you know what, Jamie, I'll be back. And I just went over to him. This guy was pretty tall, and I said, "Hey man, I work at the record store. What's up? Why are you being that way?" I go, I wouldn't mind sending people over here to like get a steak sandwich or even patronize a small local business. But I go, but if you're going to keep acting like an ass, no, I'm going to send everyone to the Mexican spot.
Yeah.
He's just like, screw you. You guys just think you run this block. We've been here longer than you. And I'm like, do you know that we run the block together? Do you remember that? Together.
It's a community.
Yeah. So he was just like so mean about it. And I just went like this. Well, I would send everyone over, But I just want you to know from this day forward, no, I'm not going to tell anyone to come here. And we have a lot of people saying, is there somewhere to get dinner or lunch before we come shopping? I'm just going to tell them to go to the Mexican on the corner store. And they're like, yeah, right. And I go, okay. So that's what we did I think for the last 3 or 4 years. I sent everyone over there.
Wow.
And it was awesome.
Sounds like he was asking for it.
Yeah. And then there's like struggling, like you see him like totally pissed because no one's in there, or like you open up and you see him just like no one's. I'm like, did you know that building Zandy's used to be like a movie thing too?
I do, yes.
So I'm just like, wouldn't that be great if like it became a movie thing? So I was just like, well, I don't know.
Apparently the apartments on the top floor still have the brass ceiling.
Wow, that's
I
so
haven't
cool.
seen it with my own eyes,
Yeah. But yeah.
yeah. And it sucks that Double Decker closed when it did, because right now, I've always, obviously sitting in my office, I'm a huge collector and supporter of physical media, but lately I'm kind of obsessing over it because I don't like what's really happening in the world of streaming. I don't like what's happening with films kind of disappearing from platforms or being inaccessible, which, by the way, on another note, Bethlehem Area Public Library has an incredible film collection there. I was really impressed by what Josh and Matt are able to purchase there and keep in stock. But so many of these things become inaccessible. And I've gotten this obsession to build an archive, to build a collection, because I'm not confident in what's happening right now. I want my movies on physical media. I want my music on physical media. I want my books. I like used books for the same reason you like old notebooks.
Yep. 100%.
I need those things. I need them around me.
Yeah. I mean, you can't grab inspiration sometimes by just staring at, like, I need to hold something. I always say that with like a record or a cassette. I just know what's involved.
We're physical beings. We want to feel things that are tangible to us.
But a lot of like the Lost Soul ads, it's just cut and paste, but it's all like off a whim. But I can't just like, I'm not searching with a mouse and like looking at all these websites. I have an enormous amount of old magazines, and I just grab through, and whatever I'm feeling, all right, cool, I like that picture, rip it out. Cool.
And the thing is, you can't get distracted in the same way looking at a magazine that you can with a phone.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated when I go on a website, especially news websites. You're trying to read something, and it's like nonstop pop-ups distracting you.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. It's already hard enough to focus. Please don't make it any more difficult. And that's what they do.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's how they make their money sometimes.
Yeah, well, I don't care about their money.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I'm used to this. Yeah, so... But that's why I don't harp anyone to like support all my stuff.
So this podcast is not on Spotify.
Okay.
Because I hate Spotify.
Yeah.
I hate how they rip off artists. And one of the reasons I don't have it on there is if you don't have a premium account, they will automatically insert ads in this podcast episode.
Wow.
And then they'll make money on it and not give me any. It's like, I don't want anyone to be advertised to. There's no advertisers. And if there's ever sponsors, it's because I genuinely support what they do, not that we're just trying to make money, because the whole point of this podcast is to give creators a platform to talk about what they do in long format.
Yeah.
Because so many people, they're not engaging. Like, they want these like Insta like reels and stories. Like, I get the point of those, but you're not really grasping something with that.
No. And then some people, like I've noticed at work, they are just listening to podcasts the whole shift.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that's pretty cool. So
let them know about Art Bazaar.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
I like to try to close the show by asking our guests if they have any advice for young creators. And I know you've dished out a ton of them.
Wow, yeah.
A ton of great advice here. Anything specific that if someone's listening, you might want to tell them some words of inspiration?
So I always go with no matter what you do, okay, do it from the heart. So remember that when you're writing those words for your song or when you're writing out stuff, like write what means the most to you, because that's when you get the most from it. Okay? Don't try and be anyone else besides yourself. And I think people forget sometimes. So they're so worried about trying to be accepted or like how much money you're going to make from stuff. I mean, I just had an artist say it to me. The record label's telling me I need to pick a genre. No, you know what? How about you tell the record label this is the genre that you want to be? Because it feels the best to you. And that's when you get the most out of it. I don't know. It's same with drawing. It's same with life. It's just like, you know what works. Just go with the flow. Not everything's going to work the first time. I mean, I've learned so much from skateboarding, my friends, and even music that not everything's easy. I mean, you might think that like, hey, cool, he posted a video that looks really rad, but you have no idea it spent 2 hours of my life or 2 hours, 4 different days of my life that I just wanted to get that one thing. But I've learned from skating that when you fall down, it takes a lot to get back up. But you got to have that willpower. Just remember that you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's kind of how I've been like approaching it the last few years. I really started letting like a lot of nonsense go. So if anything, what I've learned in the last year absolutely is I'm not going to let anyone dictate my vision of how I have to do these things. So if I know the book's going to look this way, I'm not worried about what anyone else has to say. If I want the song to sound this way, my crew, Mikey and Ben, we're going to make the song this way. And if I want to run a vacuum over my bass and make weird sounds because that's the noiser in me that not everyone knows about, listen, I'm just going to do it. And then I'm just going to skate the way I want. I'm going to draw the way I want. And just don't let anyone dictate your vision. How you see your project and the gallery and how much of it expanded in Art Bazaar, like, it's yours, dude. I think if anything, if you see the beginning, the middle, and the end of a project before you start, if you can see it, you already did it. That's why I tell people, I'm like, before I start stuff, I just like envision it, beginning, middle, and end. And I'll repeat that over and over in my head. But I'm also like looking at the sections. Okay, well, this is how I'm going to start this. This is how it's going to go. And if it's not going to go right, I still know I can get through it. And then the end is the finished product. So beginning, middle, and end. And support local friends, local artists, local community. Make sure you get down because there's a lot of people that are just trying to give back. And I think a lot of people forget that.
Words of wisdom. And I think, yes, it's very, very important for collaboration in our creative communities, which you do so well in a lot of different aspects. And once again, we've been talking with Ray Gurz, a multifaceted artist right here from the Lehigh Valley. He has his new book out, Jacob and Ridley Go Skateboarding. It is the third in his series, and it is now available. You can grab yourself a copy by going to lostsoulskateboards.bigcartel.com. And also make sure you check out Ray and Lost Soul Skateboards on Instagram at Lost Soul Skateboards to see everything he has going on. Ray, it was a truly great conversation, man.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, thank you so much. I get down with like-minded people all the time, and I don't even feel like we're doing a podcast. I'm just feeling like we're just sitting down, breaking bread, and talking about the stuff that we care about.
We've done conversations like this so many times, so the fact that we can get one recorded, man, that's why I wanted to reach out to you, especially with the new book.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there for the book launch.
It happens, man. No worries. I know people have lives, so...
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you,
Thank
seriously.
you. I appreciate it.
You're kicking ass out there, man.
Just trying to make time go by cool with my friends by my side. That's the major thing about the book.
And you're doing a great job. And hopefully I can see you out in the West Coast and maybe even Japan.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. March and May.
Be great to do some traveling together with you, dude.
Yeah, meet up, man.
We'll do, man.
May the cool times never end.
Well, we're definitely going to be in touch and do a lot of cool stuff together, my friend.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next time on Art Bazaar.